I'm about to change the brakes pads, front and rear of a Cadillac 2013 Cadillac SRX model. Alright, broke these lock nuts. They were hecka tight on there, man. I tell you, these Chrysler dealerships, they don't, I mean these Cadillac dealerships, wherever you go to get your stuff done, when you're warranty, they don't play. They make you have to come back to them because this stuff be on there freaking so tight that only their machines can get it done, or a torque machine, just a random socket wrench or whatever, tire wrench, lug nut wrench, whatever you want to call it. Isn't that great? It's hard as heck. But here I already got the brake pads right here. And those fronts, and I believe these are the rear. So I'm gonna take these out and compare. Once I take the other ones out, see how much they are and how far they are. But I'm gonna change them anyway, regardless of what it is, because you wanna. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna put some brand news in there anyway. But I'm saving a whole lot of money doing it myself. But the issue is when you have brake pads that are worn, 9 times out of 10, your what you call it, your reservoir for your damn, I can get in my head. The reservoir for your brake fluid be in low. Max is right here, minimum is right here. That's where it is. So you can tell there's some wear out on the brakes, because you never want to have to keep filling up your reservoir tank unless there's a leak. And so far I know there's not a leak, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the brake pads because they haven't been done for a while anyway, and pretty much get some brand new in there and bleed the brakes out. But like I said, so far I've already broke the lug nuts off, the lock nuts, lug nuts, and now I'll take the tire off. What I like to do when I take a tire off per tire is inspect to make sure there's no nails or anything that's any obstruction that's in the tire that cause the pressure of the tire to go out. Alright, see, so yeah, those are kind of worn. You can see how little they are, but once I take them off, I'll compare and show the brakes and stuff. I have some lubrication I need to get. I'm not in another vehicle, but I'm gonna lube up these here screws, these bolts. This one is about top and that one's the bottom, and that should remove the brake bracket from the caliper. And once I do that, I can be able to take the brakes off. Okay, so I lubed it up with this PB Blaster spray. This is a silicone thing to kind of make it kind of lubrication, kind of makes it slippery. And I'm gonna start by these. I sprayed this, and that's a 13 millimeter or 13 millimeter socket. You can use this. What I done, I broke it already, so it's kind of already loose for me. So all I'm doing is just loosening it up and taking it off. And got to the bottom as well. And then this one at the top. just set that up here because I want to. It doesn't really matter which goes where, but I just like to keep it together. I'm gonna go ahead and take my flat tip screwdriver here, and I just basically just pry the brake from the caliper. Let me go ahead and so since the brake pad is kind of tight on there because the last time you hit the brakes and whatnot, I can't just pry off the brake caliper like I want to because it's too tight. So what I need to do is loosen this up. Now, one recommendation would be take that flat tip without pressing against the rotor and sliding it down there and slightly pull away to decompress the back part of the brake. So this right here can, where is it? This one right there can compress like so. Go on top and on the bottom. And basically what I'm trying to do is get this gap right there. That's between the brake and the caliper and the rotor. So I can move freely and taking off this brake. But that's basically what I gotta do. Once that moves, I can do that. So like you have to put it in the bracket first, in the caliper bracket like so, and then put the caliper bracket onto the rotor, and then put the caliper onto the caliper bracket and the brake pads, and then secure that away. That's just how some vehicles are made. You have to take half the whole brake thing apart just to get to it. I got the new brake pads on that caliper bracket right here, and I gotta take this brake pad off and then compress this air. Just see these brake pads. I don't know the name of it, but that will push the brakes to the rotor to stop the brakes, to stop the vehicle. But anyhow, I took some tools, I sprayed some stuff. What ended up happening, this was stuck to the bracket. And so I hammered it up and knocked it off and finally got it off. But that's basically what was happening. It was stuck to the brake bracket here, so it won't come off. Normally it probably would have came off without the bracket coming off, but it didn't happen that way. So now since I need two hands, I'm going to go ahead and put this the caliper onto the mount. Screw it on. Make sure that I gotta compress. Still might need to compress the brake shoes here, the things. And I have a tool for that right here. I'll put this right here. And take this back some. Brake pedal now, and then compress it back, and that should move right there. I get one side, then I go over to the other side. Well, maybe I can get both of them at the same time. Nope. this one's back, and I'm getting this one back. And also compressing it. Alright, now that should be compressed all the way in. I'll take this off. Like so. And now my compressor is all the way backed up. I take it, make sure that the hoses and are not all messed up over or something like that. Align it, and basically go ahead and set it. Yep. And then get the other one. You hit the bottom. Screw it on there, finger tight, so it does not strip. 13-inch millimeter socket, and fine tune, touch it. Okay. Now, since I have that compressed, let's go look at this brake fluid level and see where it's at. Because sometimes just a little bit can change that. As you can see, brake fluid is a little bit higher than it was before. At first it was beneath the minimum, and now it's right below the maximum. So I'm gonna do that to all the brakes, and hopefully it comes up enough, and bleed the brakes, pump the brakes, and it should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tire back on and go to the next tire. So I'm working on the rear brakes right now. All it takes is just the caliper to come off, or the brake caliper. Spraying out here. Alright, so I'm having a slight problem because as I go to unscrew this here, this middle nut is moving as well, so it's not giving me what I need. So I need to put a open wrench like this. I gotta figure out what size it is. Perfect, that's a 17, and I gotta go against the opposite direction as I am with this one. And so basically I'm gonna put the 14 on this end here, this 17 on this end. I'm gonna go whichever way I need to go to oh, blurry focus, there you go, to get this part off. Try to see if I can still record it. Okay. I think that got it right there. Yep, it did. So now I can screw this one off. Take it out. Take this top one off. This won't move or nothing because you got the brake pads on it. These screws doesn't really matter which one is which. They both fit the same as far as which one goes on top, which one goes on the bottom. So, and then I'm just going to, what I like to do is get my flat trip screwdriver and push my caliper this way so that inside it compresses. Let me see something. I can't see this right there. There you go. So you see that this here compresses as I push this in. So I'm gonna have to compress it once I take it off. So it's already compressed. So all now I gotta do is just release the caliper, like so. It's already compressed. I'll let that sit up there, and brake pads just slide right on out. I like to do less work, so I just get in there and kind of crank it the other way, and just slide on out. Yeah. These are gold. And the new ones are right here, so you can pretty much see how much brakes is left on that pad, on these pads. So see the difference in the pad brakes, how much more. So that right there should eliminate how much fluid is left in that fluid, in that in the brake fluid up front in the hood area. Pretty simple fix. Get that aligned like that. Bring the caliper back down. Sit up in there. Okay. Looks like I might have to use my compressor. Alright. Alright, so I just compressed it all the way. As you can see, it's all the way in right there. And I'll make sure there's no kinks in the brake line here. That line right there, it's straight, the way it is supposed to be. And it just falls right in place. Get my screws. I'll hold this up a little bit. Get it even there. There you go, get that one even. Line this bottom one up, like so. And just finger tighten it. Get finger tight, snug. This one finger snugged. Take my 14. Get it snug here. Like so. Snug down here. There we go. And that's that. That's on there pretty good. apply the brakes, drain the line off if necessary. This one is right here. So as I pump the brakes, I take this lid off here, this cover, if I can get it off. Okay, trying to do it the hard way. Right there. And what somebody do is you turn the car on, pump the brakes, let the air push come back out here until you get fluid, and then it's good. It's best to do it when the tire is off, but you can always get over there when the tire is back on, like over there and stuff, and just get on the back side of the tire and take it off and do it like that. Alright, so we put this tire back on, and that's how you change the brake pads, front and rear brake pads of a 2013 Cadillac SRX. That's pretty much a van, model van truck car.